Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how to recycle some parts from your old computer builds. This is a motherboard from a failed computer build. It was a trash-picked motherboard. It's a shame that the motherboard didn't work, but it was worth a chance for a free motherboard. Now, there's not much that can really be recycled on this board, but I quite like the look of this heatsink here, which was held on by these two retaining clips with springs. Unfortunately, they've broken, but I've got the heatsink, which should be quite nice. That'll be useful in some project or another, so I shall clean off the thermal paste here. It does just come off with tissue paper, after a fashion. And there we go. That's cleaned up quite nicely. I'm not sure what I will use this for, but I will find a use for it. There's plenty of hot spots in your computer, like this particular part that it's actually come from, which it was designed for. If I just clean the thermal paste off here, doesn't matter if I get it on the board, because the board's dead. And we can have a look. Right, so that's come off. It says it's a VIA P4M900, which is also the name of the motherboard. Now, I don't know what that chip would be. Perhaps it's the GPU, because obviously this is where the processor would have sat, so it's not for the processor. So yeah, what parts could we use? Well, I'm going to take these jumpers. If you can see closely, there's some jumpers on the board. There's one here and one there. Now what they are is little plastic clips that have metallic parts inside, and it bridges one pin to another. And they're not just used on motherboards, they're also used in IDE hard drives, you see there. Now these define the settings for the hard drive, as to whether it's going to be cable select or slave or master. So they do come in handy, and sometimes when you buy second-hand hard drives like this, you don't get the jumpers and you have to buy them. Why buy them if you've got a load of spare parts lying around? I mean, I've got tons of spare parts, and they've all come from old computers that I've just decided, well, I don't want this thing anymore, and I just rip out all the parts. You know, I've got hard drives, CD-ROMs, DVD-ROMs, floppy drives, graphics cards, the list goes on. Anyway, so we shall be taking these. Having a look on this board, the only other thing that I think could possibly be of any use would be the battery. It should just pop out. This is the BIOS battery. Now, it doesn't want to play ball. That's it, just got my finger under there, my fingernail, and out it popped. And that is a I think it's CR023, let's have a look. It is a CR2032 battery, which is just a lithium cell battery, I think. But these batteries are used in many motherboards, also in other electronic equipment, even gaming systems. My old Sega Saturn uses one of these for its memory, so we should be keeping that. Other than that, I'm not going to go, really go to town on this thing and like desolder all the capacitors and other parts, because, well, you can pick them up for pennies anyway. So look in here, I think that could be the BIOS chip. Now let's get a screwdriver, because although the board's dead, although the board's dead, this part could actually work. But thinking about it, it may not, so let's just take it out anyway, just to have a look. Now if I just get the screwdriver there, and there you go, it's coming, and out that pops. And I would believe that that is a BIOS chip. Now, there's no bent pins on that. Hang on, is that a bent pin? Yes, could quite possibly be. Yeah. I have actually bent a couple of pins there, so that's a word of caution when you're trying to recycle parts. Just be careful how you extract.